I think we all have seen that there is a boat where she is sitting in and she wakes up in the movie, and then she's alone in the boat. In the beginning, there was her boyfriend in the boat as well, but suddenly he is gone, and then she is afraid and wants to go out, and it's already dark. Um, yes, my question is, she or just to the boat again, because I think a big part of the movie is just taking place in this boat, in this small boat. And I think all of you know it's always difficult to shoot on water and in a boat, and you can't move so much. So I'm sure it was not the easiest way you can do, or was it?
Very troubling.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was everything was like really going up and down because we wanted to shoot it by with the sun and everything. And when we started to shoot it, exactly on the first day of shooting, the temperature fell of 20 degrees. I think it was 2 years ago in September, and there was just rain all day long. So we had to wait a long time. We had to wait, I think, a month before we could shoot it. And then it was 10 degrees, and there was no sun. And plus it was very windy, so the boat was moving all around all the time, and we did not have the money to buy us an anchor to put it on the floor somewhere. And we had another boat that was moving also, so we had like two components that were always doing the thing they wanted. So in the end we had like two takes for each shot, because there was no time left, because the days got shorter also. And yeah, the boat was the prick in the
I
end.
thought so. I also made a film with a boat, and it was really difficult that time.
Yeah, it
And
sucks.
she also
It
had to
sucks.
swim in the water, and it was so cold
Yeah,
outside.
the water went from 20 degrees to I think 7 in 1 month, and she was and she had yeah, we also had to shoot all the things while she was wet. I mean, we couldn't make her all wet, all soaked, but we had to make her wet a little bit so that you don't get too suspicious why all of a sudden she walks out of the water and she's dry again. So yeah, it was poor girl. I mean, I really thanks to her that it worked, because we had two actresses that didn't want to do it anymore because we had to wait for. Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of a challenge, not only for you, also for the actors, for all the people.
For everybody. The poor thing is that in the end you forget about it, because it's 2 years ago I did the movie. I remember it now that we talk about it. What happened? I said I forgot about it because because you have the product, and hopefully you don't see that. I mean, yeah.
Okay, and now to you, Elena, again. You already mentioned it. Your film takes place in a church, and you call it the black comedy. And for me, it's just really interesting. Um, why do you let the comedy play in a church and not anywhere else, just because of the location?
Mm, because it's this story was happening at church. It's couldn't be other place. I don't know. I never was thinking about other place. So
And is it because the joke or the
no,
wouldn't
because
work, or
usually in for example in Ukraine, and I think in other countries also, when somebody dying, you have priest and everybody coming there, so it's have to be in church.
Она продолжала нежно касаться меня и кокетливо похлопывать своими накрашенными ресницами. В конце концов я сдался и очутился в ее объятиях. Священник попросил нас выйти. Он сказал, что наше шуршание и чмоканье мешает остальным скорбящим.
so we first get known that we are in a church when he says, and the priest came over and said, we have to move, we have to go out because kissing is not allowed in church. And then they stand up and we see that they are actually in church. So, was it the idea from the beginning to establish it as so late that you are in church?
Yeah, everything was at the beginning. It's like yeah, it was in a script. Everything what you can see here, it's a part of a script. Yeah, at the beginning, yeah, we can see only his face. It's like a stretching maybe of time because he's marrying, yeah, his girlfriend maybe longer. Yeah, and so this is like a film language. Yeah, language of making of the film.
You already mentioned that you were in the school in Ukraine, in the film school. It's for me. It's just a little bit interesting to get known how does it work in your film school and in film schools, all. What do you learn about creating locations there, or do you learn about that?
This is a hard question. If we learn, we usually we see some films and we speak with the master how they make this film, how our sir worked with location. Yeah, we're speaking about that, and after each director go and do what he wants. Actually, because we have 30 filmmakers in a group, so it's a lot of, I think, and only one master. So we like also like masters for each other and for own. Okay.
Okay, yeah, and what are your plans for the future? You already told us there will be a film shown at Yuki next year, or you will send the film
I
next
have
year?
made them already, and I will give you maybe now. And for future, I have few scripts also for black comedies and dramas and psychological dramas. And now I will try to find possibility to realize it, because in Ukraine it's really difficult. And also I will work a lot with location, with water. In the water we'll be shooting under and with helicopters. I plan it. So now I will try to find to find possibility to realize it.
Yes, we really look forward to see that film. Wow,
I
with
hope
helicopters.
we
It's really
could
great.
see that.
So you guys, do you have plans for future, or is it your first film, or is it the 100th film you've made? Just tell me a little bit about that, please.
Yes, I try to speak in English. Yes, it's the second big project, and I plan for the summer the next one. It's the same direction, yes, and with a higher budget and freaky story, and yes, yeah.
So why exactly do you like this genre so much?
Yes, it's interesting to create such a genre, but when I watch TV, I don't like the genre so much. But creating cool locations, cool effects, and so on, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to create this kind of tension in the movie, because I think a lot of people of us have tried it once when they made their first film. They just wanted to say, I'd like to make a horror movie, or I'd like to make a thriller, but don't know why, but very often it didn't work out. So what is your way to achieve that, to make that?
Yes. At first, I don't want to make a horror, because I think it wouldn't work, because you had warte mal, da bräuchte man Lichtmenschen und so, und deswegen versuchen wir das eher in die mysteriöse Richtung zu gehen.
He wants to say that in a horror movie you need light and professional lighting, because the night is a very important part of any horror movie, and it's difficult to do a really horror movie. So in Calvin Fragmenti, there's no night scene, but I think it works without that.
Yes.
But we don't do only these movies. We also do some serious dramas or something. But this was, I think, the biggest project so far.
How is your product company called again? It's called Ego
Ego-Zähnchen.
Zähnchen.
It's hard to translate to English.
In English, it just means ego teeth, but small teeth. Okay, and we were just talking about lights, and you want to say something about lights?
No,
or
out of the context already. I just thought because you guys liked what's the name again? The wood movie.
Blair Witch Project?
Yeah, because that's without lights either, and that's as you put it, creating location. So I don't know if it's really necessary to have lights for anything, especially horror movie. I think it works the best without lights, because as soon as you have lights, you have a surreal thing going on, and if you don't have the lights, you can work with what's there, I think. But you worked without lights, didn't you, now, for this movie?
Calvin Fragmenti is shot without lights, even in the last scene, which was in a cellar.
The part?
We only turned on the light which was on in this room, and it was kind of dark, but it's okay.
Yeah, darkness is nice in horror movies, isn't it? So.
Yes.
Elena, how was it in your case? You worked with lights or without lights, just with natural lights?
No, we worked with lights. You can see Christ. It's there are a lot of lights. Yeah, and it was also shooting at night because this church is working during a day. That's why we needed light. If we worked without lights, you can't see a movie at all, I think.
It would have been dark in church. It would have been a horror movie
but
in
also
church.
we tried to draw with light something. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thanks the audience as well. Bye.
Thank you for questions.
You're welcome.